salary B equals to, okay, it might be anything actually. Some, yeah, we'll keep it as it is. First, and then if salary, salary greater than, oh sorry, less than, okay, some 25,000, then I can simply say system, okay, system dot until now, okay, the salary, this is the salary range of contractual, okay, else can be used, else what we can do inside the same if condition, okay, I've used one more if condition here. If, okay, if salary A, okay, greater than uh, you can say greater than 18,000, okay, greater than 18,000, okay, and under can be used here itself. I will show under, okay, under okay. Salary less than okay, less than or equals to 20,000, okay, I can simply say is a contractual employee. So contractual, Control C. Okay, clear? See here, if you look at Control A, just right click, just go to source and format it. Okay, format. Okay, Control S. See, there are two variable, one variable salary equal 20,000. That means we are just checking whether salary is less than 25,000 or not. Yes, less than 25,000. It is fulfilled. Okay, then it will simply print salary. This is a salary range of a contractual employee. Okay, and then again we are checking the same condition whether his salary is in between the range of 18,000 to 20,000. Yes, of course. Less than or equal to, here we have used. Okay, less than or equal to we have used. Then automatically it will take. It also execute this. Okay, if condition, because both the conditions are fulfilled. True. Okay, just right click, run this program. See, both the okay console statements are got executed. Okay. So similarly, if you want to use else, else also very simple. We can simply use else here. Else, okay, bracket and else, okay, is a permanent employee. You can say Control C, Control V. Okay. Permanent employee. Okay, this can be done. Control S. Okay. Then just execute this program, but still it will go here only. Or suppose if the salary A, okay, less than 25,000, right? Greater than, I will give 25,000. Greater than 25,000. No, it doesn't go. Immediately go to the else class. Else class only it will go. Right. Okay. Permanent employee. So this is how we use else. Again, if you want to, okay, specify any condition at the else class, definitely you can specify here. Okay. How to specify? We use a else if, and then condition. Okay. Salary B is a right. Salary B equals to 30,000. Okay. Salary B is greater than salary A. Control C. Okay, here you can mention Control B greater than, okay, salary A. Okay, then it will go to the permanent employee. This is how we specify else if. Okay, Control S. Just right click, run as. Okay, then still it will go to the permanent employee. Okay, this is how we specify else. Okay, For suppose if you want to add one more else, definitely you can do else, and you can specify. Okay, system.out.println, Control C. Okay, not applicable, not applicable. That means if both the conditions are not filled, finally it will go to the else class. Okay, not applicable. I want to see. Oh, I just want to enter here. Not. This is how we use the not actually. Control S. Just run this program. Finally, it will go to the not applicable. That's all. So if else if. This is how we use a control statement. Is it clear? Yeah. Go to the next statement. Switch. Switch also very simple. Okay, I'm just going to create a one more program. Just right click, go to new, go to class. Right. Okay. So how do you write a switch statement? See, switch statement is very simple. Is mostly used with a break statement. Break and continue. I will explain later. Now I will explain now itself. What is the difference between break and continue? Anybody? What is the difference between break and continue?
Break will come out of that
Okay.
scope. I will execute the statement after that.
Correct.
Continue will ignore that case and continue with the rest of the
Excellent.
statements in the scope.
Yes. Okay. For suppose if you are using for I equals to 0, I. Okay, I less than or equal to 20. Okay, I plus plus. Okay, inside this we are just using if I less than, sorry, I equals to 15. Okay, then simply use continue. What happens? Tell me. Dot println out. Okay, I. So if you use continue, see the iteration 15 gets ignored. Okay, it does not execute the remaining statements. You simply go to the I equals to 16. So that means it prints the values from 1 to 14 and 16 to 20. If you use continue, if you use break, what happened? Tell me. If you use break, what happened?
0 to 14.
Yes, excellent. Okay, 0 to 14 only it will print. That's the difference between break and continue. If you use continue, the current iteration only it will ignore. Remaining, it will continue the remaining iterations. If you use break, automatically it skips from the current iteration and come out of the scope of the control statement. Okay. So if you use a switch statement, how do you use switch statement? You will see very simple program. All right, very simple program. Okay. Yeah. Here, public calculator. Okay. Yeah. Class it is. Otherwise, you implement it. I don't want to write here. You implement it. How I want you to do hands-on. Okay. Just create a calculator class. Calculator class. Okay. In runtime, I want to enter the data into the console. I want to enter. If I enter A, it should go to the addition. If you enter S, it should go to the subtraction. If you enter M, it should go to the multiplication. Can you do this? Yeah.
With what?
In runtime, I want to enter a character A. If I enter character A, it should perform addition operation. It should enter. If you enter B, if you enter S, it should go to the subtraction. If it is M,
So we need
it
to
should
do
enter
this
the multiplication.
with if statement.
No. Switch statement. switch. Okay. First, let me explain switch statement. First,
Yeah,
nothing
sure.
actually. First, it will take the expression. Okay. So switch and take the expression. Based on the expression, it will execute the different cases. Okay. And then we use a break statement to break. Break is actually optional in switch case. So if you would like to use, almost every time you deal with the switch case, right? Use a break statement. Otherwise, you can ignore it. Okay. Otherwise, you can ignore it. For time being, I'm just using a very simple command actually. Public. Okay. Now tell me which statement get executed. And we also have one more class called default. Okay. This is a default. Control C. Okay. This is a default. Okay. This. Right. Done. Right click. Run as Java application. Okay. The default case. See, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, everything it has been executed. Then how to avoid this issue? Tell me. How to avoid this? How to avoid? See, here what happened? All the cases gets executed. Even though we have entered A, all the cases gets executed. This can be avoided by simply adding a, tell me, break. Okay, break statement can be added. Control C, Control V, Control V. Okay, clear? So first it will take, it will go to the switch case, and then here it will evaluate the expression. If the evaluation, I mean, based on the expression, it will go to the different cases. If it is M, suppose if you give X, what happened now? Tell me. Which case gets executed?
Default.
Default, right? Because none of the conditions are fulfilled. C equal to X, so it doesn't go M, it doesn't go S, it doesn't go M, it does not go to, okay, D also. So finally, there's a default case, we'll go to the default case. Just write Control F, just write, run this program. That's it. Okay, this is how, okay, switch case
So
gets,
we can take user input also, right? In this,
yeah,
like if
that you have
you
to,
want
correct,
multiplication M, so it will go to a multiplication only. That also we
correct,
can do, no?
correct. So how to do that? Tell me.
So that's what I want to ask.
How to do that? So basically Java has a class called Java util, where one of the package is actually scanner function. By using scanner function can scan the character and then can enter basically. Okay. So what is the function? Import java.util, done. Okay, this package has to be imported first. Then I want to scan the value actually. How to scan the value? First you have to use the scanner. Okay, operation equals to new. Okay, scanner of a system data in. Okay, system data in. Right. So it fetches the value into the operator. Fetches the value into the operator. Okay. Then it will okay, take the value. Okay, here you can see operator, right? You can directly pass a operator here. First you just print the value. Okay, so system dot out dot println of, okay, the value you have entered, the value you the operation you have chosen, operation you have chosen is okay. Just take this one, operator, control C, okay, control V. Okay. So here what I can say, I have to convert this one actually. Operation, the value equals to, okay, operation dot operation dot next line. This is string. Everything is string only here. Anyway, fine, no problem. Okay, this is string type. I'm just going to take string type. Okay. Here I'm going to say okay. Take this value. Done. So yeah, and it has taken again. Okay, double quotes. It should be double quoted. It's also double quoted. I think this is also double quoted. Now because we are entering strings, that's why. Okay, but for character I will explain later. Okay, we have created exact command. I'll let you know. Okay, this is how we actually in runtime based on the C. We are just giving here input, right? Yeah. Okay. Here I'm just going to add one command, one simple command. Control C. Please enter the type of operation you want to perform. So it is asking for the value. See, please enter the operation you want to perform. So which operation you want to perform? Okay. See, I didn't choose in any value. That's why it is going to directly default case. Here. So just run once again. Now just enter add. Okay, add. See, the operation you have chosen is add. Though this is addition operation. Clear? This is how actually we can fetch the value in runtime and you can use it wherever you want to use. You can use it basically. Okay, so you can implement a one more class and okay, create addition, subtraction, multiplication, and call those functions here. That's better. Can you do this on your own? Yeah. Can you do it on your own?
Can you? Yeah, we'll try that.
Okay, what I'm saying, just create a one more class. Okay, calculator class. Okay, class calculator. Okay, that's it. This is small c. Careful with this namings. Okay, syntax and all. Just write a function here. What function actually? So public void addition. Okay, integer x comma integer y. Okay, then okay, this is subtraction and multiplication, and this is division. Okay, so what I want you to do, you just call these functions here. How do you call? You just create a object for a calculator. Control C. So just go to main method. Here we have to create a object. Nothing, creating object I have already explained. Very simple. Just create a, give the name of the class. Okay, name of the variable of the class equals to new keyword we use to create a object. Done. Right. Now we can call these functions. Control C. Just come here. Okay. Here we have to add this code. Okay. Dot addition. Okay. So similarly, we have to call a remaining operations of Control C. Okay. So like this, but I'm not implementing here. You have to implement. I will give this code as it is to you. Let's see. Right. Done. Okay. Can you implement and show me tomorrow? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Can you explain that statement with the next line operator? That I've never
Nothing actually.
used it.
Scanner is basically a built-in function that is available in the utility. What it does basically, it passes the data, whatever the data you are entering into the console. Okay. See, but when you are dealing with strings, we have to use a command called function called next line. Next line basically, when you are going to get the data as a string format, we use a next line. That's all. Okay. Got it? For suppose you want to get the value in integer format, then we have to use a dot next line. Instead of next line, actually we have to use a integer type. Integer type, how do you get the integer type? Okay, int. How do you get int? Next int, I think. Int, yeah, integer. See, so automatically it passes the data into the appropriate format. If you are going to fetch an integer value, we use a next int. If you are going to fetch the value into a string, then we use simply use the next line. That's all. Okay, next line we use. Since we have taken here the string type, I have used the next line. Okay.
String then?
After that, we are just assigning the value into another variable called value, and we are just passing the value into the expression of the switch case.
Okay. Is it called casting then?
Pardon me?
Is it called casting?
Yeah, of course. See here, next line is the right. It basically passes into the appropriate okay format. see here we are entering add whether it is a string or integer, how the compiler knows. Compiler can't understand, right? So that's the reason they have written a different functions for different data types. For string, we have to use the next line. If it is an integer, we have to use a next int. Okay, clear? For numerical values, we use a next int. For string type, we use a next line. Okay. Or suppose you want to use a double, what do you do then? Next dot double. One more method is there. I just want to enter the double value in a console. Next double. See, this is a double. Next double, next line, next int, and so on. Okay. If it is an integer, we use the next line. Clear?
And when do we use only next?
Next. When do you use next? Do you have a method called next? I never used. Yes. Next also takes string. By default, it takes string, I think. Okay. Next. Complete token. Yeah, next. Next by default, it takes, I think, string. Either you can use next or next line. I think we'll try with this. Control S, run this program. How do you perform? Okay. Yeah. See, for characters, I think you can use next. Okay. So you can give now the value here, right? Yeah. For characters, you can use next. For string, you can use next line. But next also accepts strings. Just run and check if you want. Okay, here I'm just entering addition, add. See, it has accepted add. Okay, it either accepts characters and strings, both it accepts. Okay, better you just use a next line only. Next line only, okay, you take whenever you want to enter the string. Whenever you want to enter a numerical value, use a next integer. Whenever you want to enter a double value, use a next double. Okay.
Yeah.
So many methods are there. Next boolean. It basically reads a boolean value from the user. Next double, you know, next integer, we know. Next line basically reads a string value from the user. Okay, if you use a next long, it reads a long value. Next short, it reads a short value from the user. That's all. Next, actually, if you use only next, it takes only character. So many methods are there, but this is very frequently method. Next line. Yes. Oh, that's fine. We have another 10 minutes time. Just let me know if you have any questions in today's class.
So these all things, how are we supposed to practice? Like, do we have recorded videos of this?
Yeah, I will send the recorded videos.
Okay.
Okay. You see, those who don't have Java, okay, those who are not able to install, there is another approach. Online compilers are there. Okay, if you have internet, just go to online GDB. This is one of the very useful one. I do use this one for when I'm teaching with the engineering graduates. Okay, but Selenium we can't use it. That's why I suggest you to download and install Eclipse. Online GDB Java compiler is there. Okay, you can directly go to online GDB. You can write your programs here. Okay, here you need to choose a program, appropriate language. Since you are practicing Java, choose Java and write a program here. To run, I simply just click run. So automatically just execute and show the results here. Okay, this is also wonderful online compiler, Java compiler is there. Okay, integer, Okay. Okay. Sum equals to, okay, 10 plus 20. Okay. Then system. Okay. The value of sum is the value of sum variable is, okay, then plus sum, that's all. Okay, control is, okay, so you have to log in actually, then only it will execute. First log in with your credentials. You can use your Google credentials, okay, I mean Gmail. Then click run. It simply returns that the error value, some unused disclosed, okay, fine. Just remove this double quotes, just run once again. Okay. So this is also one of the really wonderful, online compiler, online Java compiler. I'm just sharing this URL to you all. Just check those who are, I mean, those who don't have, or those who don't have time, or currently, I mean, temporarily you can pro practice on this one. But once you start learning this with Selenium, it doesn't work. Okay, that's the reason I requested all of you, please install Eclipse. That is always better. Okay, practicing Java, this is enough. Okay, and again, it does not work if you are handling with external files, like the file handling operation, input, output, operand, and this doesn't work again. But ordinary Java programs can be practiced on this URL. Okay, so I have already given a code. Please copy this code and try to, don't copy, enter, try to enter line by line. Then you can come to know where you are making mistakes. Okay. But tell me if you have any questions, then we can take it up.
I have Windows 7 on my machine. Is it okay, or for our APM
That's
we will
fine,
use
absolutely
Windows 7?
works. No, that doesn't actually limit your practice. We can practice Java 7, I mean Windows 7 also.
For APM also?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But my sincere advice, please download all the required softwares and have a setup. Once you get into real projects, you can't use this online GDB and all, right? So that's the reason I asked you to, okay, download all the Eclipse and softwares and set up it as a, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then thanks for joining. We'll catch up tomorrow at the same time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.